Hey everyone, welcome back to Gamer Sanctuary. It's Sunday. We've got a whole bunch of guys kind of trickling in for football. I'm running some Age of Sigmar demos for anyone who's interested. I might have one or two people coming up later. But in the meantime, Adam and Matt are going to do a farewell bat rep to the Tau book. We're waiting for the new models to start dropping any day now. So in our usual tradition, we're going to say goodbye to the Tau codex. I think Adam has played it brilliantly over the last couple of years since it's been out, and this is going to be a wonderful send-off. But to do it right, we're going to have him face off against Matt and his Sons of Medusa army. We are going to be playing a special scenario that is a work in progress for our Foodhammer event coming up in a couple of months. So there's going to be some awesome special rules on the table, and like I said, we're going to be saying goodbye to some of the more signature Tau units from 6th edition. Here we have Adam's Tau. He's got a buff commander right here, who he's not the warlord, right? No, because he also has Farsight. Farsight is going to be the warlord, and he's going to be traveling around with a bodyguard of 6 battle suits. They are all WYSIWYG, so there are 3 with fusion and plasma, and then 3 with missiles. A pair of drones. For troop choices, again, this is the bodyguard unit, so it's actually part of Farsight's 4 slot. 2 troop choices are squad recruit. Are they snipers?
No.
Nope, no sniper upgrades. There's the fire-based support cadre, the 2 squadrons of broadsides, and then the Riptide back there. That one has feel no pain, right? And then a regular Riptide as well. They both look like they have ion cannons. That one's got missiles, that one's got fusion. And then a stock Skyray for some Interceptor and Skyfire. Does it have Interceptor? Doesn't have Interceptor. My bad, just some Skyfire. So that's Adam's Tau. We're playing 1850 points. Here we have Matt's Sons of Medusa list. Again, he's playing with what the kind of goofy shenanigans stuff you can do with the new Space Marine book. He's got a level 2 librarian who's going to be hitching a ride with 3 Grav Centurions and a drop pod, taken as a fast attack choice. He has 3 more Grav Centurions and another drop pod with fast attack choice. There's a Tech Marine who's going to be riding with, you said the plasma guys, right? There's a tactical squad with plasma, and that's in a drop pod. This 5-man attack squad has got Melta, and they are going to be in the Storm Raven with one of the Ironclads. Storm Raven has las cannons and multi-Melta. All the Ironclads they have assault launchers and heavy flamers. Nope, just stock assault Ironclads. That's cool. The other 2 Ironclads are both in drop pods as well, and then 2 Storm Talons with the Skyhammer missiles. All right, here we have a shot of the table. Again, awesome Matt from Frontline Gaming's Fat Mats. Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of new terrain features. I've been working on these fortifications for Brian, and like I said, we're going to kind of be testing out some ideas for a mission for Foodhammer involving these. The idea is that the entire table is going to be nothing but formations, but fortifications. So we're going to have Wall of Martyrs, the macro cannon is going to be in the middle of the table, and it's going to be a fight to control them. So each of these are actually going to be the objectives. So we've got the Firestorm redoubt here. There's 1 battle cannon turret there. There's another battle cannon turret right there. There's 2 of the Punisher turrets right there. And then in the back, we've got a Bastion that's actually going to be a missile silo. So here are some of the special rules. You have to have a unit in control of the objective to be able to use it. They are all entirely automated. You cannot manually fire it, so you're only BS2 on the las cannons. Las cannons must fire at flyers and flying monstrous creatures first. If there are no valid targets in that category, then they can move on and they have to fire at the closest target. Same thing with the battle cannons. They have to fire at the closest target. Same thing as the Punisher cannons. Punisher cannons cannot fire at things they cannot hurt, vehicles they cannot damage, in favor of infantry. The missile silo is going to be a Death Strike missile launcher, and it's going to operate very similar to the actual Death Strike launcher in the Imperial Guard Codex. You have to have a unit in base with the tower to actually fuel it up, and you roll a d6 and add the turn number. On a 6+, you're able to fire at that turn, but you also must have a character in base to it to actually issue the firing order. Okay? And then it's going to be Strength 10 AP1, Massive Blast, Ordnance, you name it. It's nasty. So that's basically it for the special rules for the table. Like I said, everything is an objective, and they're going to be worth points every turn. You're going to actually score points for the objectives you control at the end of every game turn. So each player is going to get an opportunity to grab the objectives and hold it at the end of the turn. So they're going to get their stuff set up. Deployment is going to be Vanguard. It's going to be corners with each of the battle cannon turrets solidly in their zone, and neither of the 2 big buildings in their deployment. Oh, and the bunker in the middle is just an AV-14 bunker. No special rules for it, but I just wanted to include it because it is part of the trench works, and it's the only part I actually finished painting at the moment. So we're going to get into deployment in turn 1 coming up. All right, here we have a shot of the table after deployment. Kind of fast because Matt lost the roll, but Adam decided he was going to give Matt the first turn. So everything in Matt's army, as you can see, is drop pods and flyers. So it's all off the table in reserve. So Adam deployed his broadsides with Interceptor right there in that building, and then infiltrated both his crew into the Death Strike launcher and into the Firestorm redoubt to give him a little bit of an advantage right there. We have, again, like I said, we're kind of tweaking the rules as we go, and we've decided that what we're going to do is treat all the bastions and turrets like objectives in a normal objective game. So whoever's holding him at the end of the game, 3 points per objective.
Oh, come on.
And we're still playing with the rules, and if this doesn't work, we'll change it for the actual event. But this should be a lot of fun. So Matt actually has the first turn unless Adam concedes, which I don't think he wants to do. He's going to decline. So Matt's going to start bringing in his drop pods right now. Top of turn 1, Matt has 2 drop pods with the dreadnoughts that came in here. The first one tried to land right there and scattered 10 inches, just staying off the board. Guy gets out. The second one goes to land right there, scatters 11 inches right back towards the other one, stops here. Guy gets out. They both shoot at their melta guns at this Firestorm redoubt. One missed, the other penned it, blew up one of the last cannon mounts and reduced the armor by 1, but everything inside is still okay. So the objective is still kicking, and he's going to get a chance to shoot back. Adam didn't do anything with his interceptor fire, even though he hit 3 times with his last games. Oh, you did pen 1, okay. So what was the pen result, though?
Stunned, he was ironclad.
Okay, shrugged it off as an ironclad, there we go. Back over here, the Centurions dropped in right next to the Punisher cannon, and it opened up on the...
Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
I intercepted, it hit like 9 shots.
Oh, yeah.
He made every 2 up save and a 6 up field.
Yeah, because that's what Matt does. We've seen that before in bat reps. Anyway, so the Punisher shot at the broadsides, and they killed 2 of them? Killed one. And then the grav cannons finished him off. Grav cannons, actually, bolters did 1, you said. So, yeah. First blood right here for Matt, and we're going to go into bottom of turn 1 now with Adam, and maybe he can shoot some of that stuff back off the table. So the guys just informed me that they already did the bottom of turn 1. It was that fast. Adam has everything off the table still and nothing coming in from reserve. That last cannon mount, because it intercepted, cannot fire this turn. These guys were pretty much out of line of sight, not at range, and not be able to hurt anything. So that did nothing. The heavy bolters in the bastion over here shot at the Devastators and did nothing. And the Death Strike missile failed to launch. It is still fueling though, so we're going to move now into turn 2 and see what Matt's reserves look like. Top of turn 2, Matt got his other drop pods in, but his flyer wings is staying off the table. So these Centurions came down and just disembarked and really didn't have much to shoot at because they can't touch the vehicle or the buildings with their grav cannons. That tactical squad came down and with the way the special rules work for the Firestorm redoubt, Adam had to intercept the closest unit, which was the drop pod, so he actually blew it up with 2 pens on the snapfire. So small victory, of course, but still something is always better than nothing, I guess. The Dreadnoughts then fired their meltas and then charged into the Firestorm redoubt. They had knocked its armor value down and then blew it up, killed 3 of the crew, it looks like. But they passed their pinning test, so now they're just sitting on an objective in a crater and waiting for something to knock those dreadnoughts off. Bottom of turn 2 coming up, Adam's going to try to get some of his reserves in and see if he can fight back. Bottom of turn 2, most of Adam's reserves come in. The big thing that did not was Farsight and his Farsight bomb. Anyway, broadsides came on here along with the Riptides. They fired, made some cover saves over here. Net result, they took a couple penetrating hits and lost some hull points because they ignored Shaken and Stun. And that was mostly from the ordnance shot from that Riptide. This guy got hot, but made his armor safe. The coolest thing that happened was the Kroot managed to fire the Death Strike launcher into the center of the table, and that's all that is left. It took out 2 drop pods, 2 Centurions, the Librarian, blew the Punisher Gatling cannon off of that turret, and 1 Marine from this squad was killed when he pulled the Tech Marine back and lookout cert on him. So that was super cool. That was a lot of fun. Oh, and the little bunker in the middle was also destroyed. And that's about it. So we're going to move into the top of turn 3. And again, those buildings get replaced with objectives. We need to put an objective marker. Oh, no, not that one. The actual turrets. Never mind. So we're going to go into the top of turn 3 and see if Matt's air wing comes on. We just realized Adam forgot to fire his fusion guns from the red Riptide over here. Managed to blow off the seismic hammer onto that dreadnought. So he's down to 1 hull point. That one is down to 2. And we're going to go into turn 3 right now. All right, I'm trying to actually get some different angles of the table, but all the action is going on over here. Matt failed to get his Stormwing in again, so they're still chilling. The Grav Centurion's back over here, shot at and did a couple wounds to the Red Riptide. And the Dreadnought also did some wounds to it, and then he charged in there, finished him off in combat before the Riptide got to swing back. Did take a hull point off him with Overwatch. I believe it was from, did we decide which one of the Riptides did it? Both Riptides shot at him with supporting
fire. Got charged, did the Overwatch hit.
So he's down to a single hull point here. The Plasma guys shot at, but he made some cover saves there. The broadsides were able to supporting fire on that Dreadnought when he charged the Kroot. They didn't do anything, and then he finished off all the Kroot, killed them, and ran them off the table, and then consolidated back. So that's it for the top of 3. Adam's going to roll for his reserve, see what he gets to come in, and then go from there. Bottom of turn 3, Adam got Farsight and his bomb in, but the Skyray stayed off. These broadsides finished off the Dreadnought over here. And he tried to finish off this one. He's still got one hull point left. Oh, he didn't shoot at it. Never mind.
I shot past it.
He did his blast over here, and looks like a couple of Marines are dead here. That guy was not shot at. Farsight and his buddies came in down here, deep struck in, and dropped 2 of the Centurions. Did a wound to that last one. He is fleeing, so he's going to regroup. And then they just did their assault jump to scatter a little bit so that they can't get blasted. They're going to hold this objective too. Did you fire the cannon?
I did.
Okay. It missed. BS2 on those is not very
heavy
great.
bolters too.
Heavy bolters on there fired. And that's it. So the Skyray, it did not come in. Turn 4 for Matt. The Flyers are going to automatically come on the table, and I think I know where they're going to go for. Right there. That's my bet. Anyway, moving into top of turn 4. Top of turn 4, the Airwind finally shows up and put a huge dent on Farsight and his buddies, along with the 2 Grav Centurions. I have to point it out in video because Adam should be embarrassed not to know this. He was rolling Lookout Sir rolls for Farsight when he doesn't have to because of his buddies' Swarm Protector rule. They automatically pass the Lookout Sir attempts. So I pointed it out to him. So King Tau, he's a little embarrassed right now. But Farsight's alive. He took 1 wound.
He's got 1 wound left.
Oh, 1 wound left. Okay.
Oh, it should be. Yeah,
wrong number.
Wrong number. He's got 1 wound left.
And so is the buff commander. But together, they're still pretty nasty. They should be able to finish off something. The air wing is going to be scary, though. I give him that. Over here, the plasma gun took off 1 wound on the Riptide, and the Dreadnought tried to charge in on the Riptide, and the broadsides finished him off with supporting fire. Adam's concerned supporting fire might not be in the new book. We'll see. That's one of those things that we might have to say goodbye to. I believe the Punisher cannon also shot at the Riptide, and it doesn't look like it did anything. So we're going to move into the bottom of turn 4. The Skyray automatically comes on, and he's looking for a flyer. Bottom of turn 4, Adam's luck kind of evaporated. The broadsides tried to shoot at that 1 Centurion right there, and he rolled nothing but 1s to wounds. That should have been a good indicator of how the turn was going to go. His blast scattered off those Marines, and he killed a single guy with the smart missile system, then failed his charge. The Skyray came on and took a hull point off of 1 of the Storm Talons, and that's it. Farsight and his buddy failed to do a wound to the sergeant. Actually, I don't think they have any shooting. And then plasma. But then
shot him, failed.
And then Farsight failed a 6-inch charge by rolling a 5. So that's about it. Looks like I forgot to mention last turn that Matt dropped a tactical squad off in the building right over there just to be able to grab the turret at the end of the game for the objective, because it is an objective game. So we're going into top of turn 5.
That's what Owen go to.
Top of turn 5, Farsight and his Buffmander buddy are dead. They actually got shot down by the Grav cannons and the Dreadnought shooting before the Dreadnought could charge. So Dreadnought didn't shoot. He just ran. Nothing happened to the Skyray. Over here, the tactical squad that was there shot at and then charged into the Riptide that were right here. All the Marines were killed in Overwatch. It was a heck of a good Overwatch shooting, but then they could not finish off the Tech Marine in combat, and he used his servo harness to rip the Riptide in half. And then he consolidated closer to the objective just to try to push on it. Those guys came out just to hold it just in case the game ends in turn 5. So Adam has got bottom of 5 to come and push back and try to fight for some of the objectives. Right now, Matt has a lot of them. 3-3 right now? Yeah, there's 1 to 1. Then there's 2 here, and then 1 there, and then 1 there. Yep, 3-3. So if Adam can knock him off when the game ends, then he would have a good chance of winning. Bottom of turn 5, Adam was playing for the objective. He tried to clear off the Storm Talon holding the Punisher Gatling cannon right here. Everything he had that he could fire at it did, and he only took a single hull point off it.
I actually hit it from all 3 corners.
Yeah, kind of funny, but it jinked its way into surviving. So they did roll. Turn 6 is coming up. This is all turn 6 at once. It went super fast. Matt came around, swooping through, and shot down a couple of the broadsides, and they held, so that's good. They, generally speaking, then just consolidated around objectives to make sure he was still holding them. Adam tried everything he could to take out that Storm Talon again, and it's still alive. It's still kicking. So he actually even tried to shoot at and then charge the Tech Marine here to kill him in combat because he's contesting this objective. Couldn't shoot an assault, but
He assaulted.
and he failed. So the game ends with Matt having 12 points, 9 from objectives, plus he got Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood, and Adam has 6 for objectives, and then he also has Linebreaker with the Kroot sitting in the Bastion right there. So, guys, what do you think about the fortifications for the actual mission, though?
I don't think you like the Death Strike missile, but
No, Death Strike missile sucks, but you got lucky getting it when you got it.
I think infiltrating might be a deal.
Okay.
I took advantage of it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, all right, we're gonna tweak this rule or this mission a little bit for Foodhammer, and hopefully we'll see it on the table in December. Thanks for watching.